Greetings, friends. This is Elizabeth Shermer with an intuitive reading for the grids of light on Friday, February 10th. Today's reading is in anticipation of this afternoon's full moon and lunar eclipse, which occurs at 4:33 p.m. That's Pacific time today, February 10th. This is truly a remarkable moment in time. This moon represents a threshold and an opening for which we have all been preparing. It's another big evolutionary leap on our personal and collective expansion. And it's the preparation for this reading has been super emotional because it's so big and so special and so remarkable and so filled with light. So if you hear emotion in my voice, know that it's coming from a really good place and a huge place of heart opening and beauty. And it's taken me a while to be able to, I guess, pull myself together on the impersonal level so that I can deliver the larger message to each of you who are listening. And considering the constraints of time, we're going to dive in. So I greet you today on this really amazing time. The card in front of you, the Strength card, termed Lust in the Thoth deck, meaning luster and your ability to tap into your own inner strength and courage and conviction and fire, the fire of your will anchored in, as you can see, divine feminine, taming the forces of the lion and all that entails. And so they become companions and work together. The moon in Leo is an infusion of vitality and personal courage and conviction that balances or gifts this zodiac month of Aquarius. And you might remember that Aquarius represents higher consciousness and our ability to transcend limitations based on our own understandings of reality and our belief systems in order to step into a larger collective potential. And those of you who work with the energies of the age of Aquarius will understand this. This is the evolutionary phase we're in, and the larger evolutionary phase. And every year we revisit this doorway as we prepare to launch our own paths of purpose in the world for the coming year. So Leo infuses every year. The Leo moon infuses new light and new understanding of what our personal power represents and how big and amazing we each truly are. I'm spending some extra time today on this because of the lunar eclipse that is happening in Leo today. And when lunar eclipse happens, a portal is opened at that point in the sky and or in the zodiac, in our zodiac. And for a month, we receive unusual gifts and abilities that transcend our normal time-space reality here on Earth. The moon regulates time and space and the rhythms of life. And at the moment of the lunar eclipse, when the Earth disconnects the sun and the moon, a doorway opens in the zodiac, in the larger realm, and we receive unfiltered energy in the form of a specific aspect of consciousness. And then that's available to us for a full month, nearly a full lunar cycle until the moon returns to that spot. And I looked it up today, and the moon will return to 23 Leo sometime on March 9th or 10th. If you want to, it looks like March 10th probably, if you want to make a note of that in your calendar. So for these coming nearly 4 weeks, you have the opportunity to absolutely connect with new potentials, and that's what this spread is about today. In working with this spread, I'm bringing forward a much larger message, which is summarized in Stephen Schroyer's astrology article for the eclipse, and you can access that at seattleastrology.com. And if you're interested in this, in working with the specifics of this larger pattern, I highly recommend that. Steve says that this is the most powerful full moon that he has seen. And if you listen to these messages, you know that we are on a cycle of evolutionary expansion, and very often we have super powerful new moons and full moons that support us. And this one is an exponential step beyond what we've seen before. It's bringing forward all of the potentials to facilitate an actual expansion into new realms of reality, and our capacity to become co-creators with force, with source and force. I call source the force, love, and to work together at new levels of co-creation. So the Strength Lust card, I'm going to say one more thing about it, because the specific degree of the zodiac, 23 Leo, has a Sabian symbol that's remarkably represented here in this painting. And this, I'm going to actually read it. I wrote it down so I could share it with you. The Sabian symbol for 23 Leo is in a circus. The bareback rider displays her dangerous skill. So the archetype of this point in the sky of the portal that's opening is a new form of inspired leadership that inspires others, that shows such remarkable strength and courage and skill, as well as showmanship and willingness to be seen. Displays such amazing abilities and talents of personal strength and courage that she inspires everyone else who's witnessing her to do the same, to feel that and feel inspired by what is possible. So that's the infusion of what's coming for us this month, what's available to us this month, and the reason why I've, as I've tapped into it, been feeling so much personal eagerness and appreciation and love from the source that supports us all. So there's another whole construct with this eclipse that has to do with the specific astrology pattern called a temple pattern, which is extremely rare, and we experienced 2 months ago with the Gemini moon launching winter solstice and the container for the year. So again, check out Steve's article, seattleastrology.com, if you'd like to learn more about how to work with the specifics of the hologram for the month. The short story is, know that we're being held in a remarkably coherent container, a prepared space, a temple, literally, etherically, a temple that holds us and allows us to elevate beyond our old perceptions and beliefs of what is possible, step into new evolutionary multidimensional abilities. Okay, so here's the practical advice for the month. That's all really big picture. When I throw the cards, I ask for something practical that will give us tools that help us each step into alignment. So this is a planetary spread, meaning universal to everyone who's hearing this. And so each of you listening to this video, watching the video, will receive your own messages and insights into how these archetypes can support you. So in the position of awareness, the Ace of Wands represents this infusion of previously unbelievable and unknown vitality and sight and intuition and willpower and courage. So that's what you have the ability to tap into. When you connect with your own vertical column of light and realign to personal coherence, this is what you have access to. And it literally means a new beginning based on those qualities I just spoke, or infused with those qualities. All the way to the left in the position of circumstances and the physical body is the Knight of Cups. And you can see, look at the red of the Holy Grail. I'm noticing the symmetry right now as I'm working with the cards of the red being infused with this energy of vitality and courage and power and the full heart. This painting represents your you stepping into a new level of mastery in your life, of actually experiencing yourself receiving your heart's desire. And that's why the grail is painted red. And the symbol is, there's a symbol of Cancer on the goblet or the chalice, and that represents you experiencing your heart's desire in your life in the world, and the experience of complete emotional fulfillment as a quality of mastery, and finding and experiencing your highest purpose and experiencing the fulfillment of that. Interestingly, this card came up reversed, and when I checked in on the reversal, let me drop back in and get the message. It was super clear. The activation of new potentials and the new birth of awareness this month with this portal and with the coming 4 weeks is representing your ability to move beyond, because this is in the position of circumstances, your ability to move beyond attachment of your own identity to external quote reality, to quote normal life. One of the ways I like to work with the grids of what's already been established, what's already come into form, is that it represents the past because it's already been manifest. Doesn't mean we can't rely on it and appreciate it and experience joy from it. At the same time, what this month is about is stepping into a new ability to work multidimensionally. And there's a relationship between Saturn and Uranus and the other planets of the temple that are allowing a dissolving of external forms that no longer serve expansion. So I'll just show the reversal here, and imagine that you are moving within and finding this source of light and inspiration. You're taking your attention away from external circumstances to look for validation there. They represent the past. Use them for support and know that there's something greater that we are creating. And this, for those of you who are experiencing frustration or worry or fear or overwhelm regarding current political or social or financial circumstances within the larger systems, know that this month is absolutely supporting and helping us participate together to create the new world that we all can feel so clearly in our hearts. So those of you who are here to work with planetary energies and align your purpose with the larger purpose, know that that's what this is about, is you really experiencing fulfillment of this calling, this heart's calling to be of service in the world and to benefit yourself from that, the joy of it. All the way to the right in the position of Spirit is the Seven of Wands. So I am going to call your attention to the picture, and imagine that this is a 3D image that's suspended in front of you, and the 6 grids in the back are representing the alignment of your energy field and your coherence with these energies, your ability to step in coherence. And then the central wand has sparks coming off of it. It's vibrating with the new force that hasn't yet been integrated, all the new potentials that are coming in from this ace and from the portal and the new possibilities. And so this card is called Valor and represents your ability to align with your power, your courage and commitment, and the inspiration of facing this new challenge and knowing that you have all the tools that you need and that all is well, which is the stable grid in the background. So this represents, in the position of Spirit, that the new infusion is supporting you to ride that force of the bear, be the bareback rider, or be the bareback rider on the lion, and experience the infusion of your authentic vitality and power and limitless potential. So this is Mars in Leo, and the support or an expression of the practical way you can connect with the spiritual infusion that's coming with the portal. So I always draw a couple of extra cards for an additional message, and here they are. The Two of Discs, really this is the key message. We hardly need anything more, but I do like to ask for something new for anyone who sometimes the extra cards add a practical piece or another layer of understanding to sit on top of the reading. So the first card is the Two of Discs, change, and it represents fortunate change and the reality that the changes that are happening are the messages that regardless of the perceptions of chaos, we are stepping into another dimension where everything is perfect, and we are working with the chi of the chaos and the chi of what's being dismantled to create something brand new. And on a higher transcendent level, everything is perfectly balanced. Yin and yang and all the polarities are working together in a necessary way. What's shifting now is that we are escaping the prison, quote, the prison of being locked into external reality and moving into a new capacity for co-creation. The second card is an interesting, like cautionary. It's a cautionary piece of advice for all of us. The Seven of Swords, futility, another seven. The sevens represent you on your highest path of purpose in the world. They're associated with the Chariot. And the Seven of Swords represents futility in the mind, basically sabotaging thought forms that limit your ability to hold fast to the inspiration, which is this central sword. This is the Ace of Swords, the inspiration of new potentials. And then all the ways we get distracted by details. Each of these other swords have really interesting handles and represent all the ways that we can get distracted from the central inspiration through self-sabotaging thought forms or through patterns of limiting our own idea. Well, that's self-sabotaging, limiting our idea of what we are worth, what is possible, what we can do, and what's possible in the world. So realize that as this process unfolds over the month, it will very likely bring up your own inner dialogue of to diminish your potential to expand into what you are truly capable of. And so just be aware and notice them as thought forms, and use your own tools, whatever you've already developed, to thank them and let them go as just old patterns. And then the final card is super interesting, the Death card reversed. And the reason it was interesting to me when I pulled it, I don't usually pull 3 extra cards, but as I was doing my meditation last night and pulling this spread, the frequencies kept going up and up, and I actually worked for over half an hour to get to the proper frequency level before I was able to pull the cards. And in my final meditation, it was a standing meditation working with some of the tools that I use through Tree of Life and Kabbalah. And in that invocation of connecting with my more expanded self to work with this spread, I received, I guess, a message and an infusion of energy of Osiris. And this card appeared because the Death card represents our celebration, ultimately our celebration of metamorphosis and our, again, release from constraints of fears around change and fear of letting go of the past, so that we're able to resurrect into an entirely new world. And so it was super interesting to have the impulse to draw an extra card and then have it be the signature that enabled me actually finally to step into the spread for all of us today. So know that whatever fears come up for you around letting go of the past and stepping into a brand new world, know that you are supported now through this new infusion of consciousness, especially from the planet Uranus. If you work with the planetary frequencies, you're being supported to truly celebrate and step into mastery of the process of rebirth and resurrection into a new form, a new world, a new life. So this is happening at a very high level. I'm really, I'm thrilled and honored to be able to share this message with you today, and to know that together we are receiving these infusions, and the archetypes help us connect with the vast realm of intelligence that enables us to work with these frequencies at a higher level. So feel the truth for you and explore this opportunity in your own way and with your own tools, and commit to the joy and adventure of the coming month, and align with, I'm asking the guides now for anything to end. So make sure you align with your tribe, and this would be an inner circle, so that you can really support each other in using your tools and the eagerness of this new world and new awarenesses and new understandings and new abilities that we're stepping into. So share your adventure, share your joy, share your celebration, share the challenges, and with your inner circle, be honest about the fears that come up for you or the sabotaging thought forms, so that you together can hold space for them. And then tell your stories and share your visions, and celebrate the world that we're creating together. And with that, I wish you an amazing month, and joy as together we cross this new threshold. This is Elizabeth Shermer with an intuitive message for the Grids of Light.